I have such an ungrateful sister. Guys, she is demanding that I pay some outrageous wedding gift for her. Get this. She doesn't want me to buy her a Betty Crocker cooking set. She doesn't want me to buy her an air fryer. Heck, she doesn't even want a $100 gift card to Ulta. No, she wants a brand new jet ski Wave Runner, which costs $10,000. Yeah, I know it's absolutely absurd, but get this, that's not the end of it. My family, they think that she's in the right, and I'm the one that has to give the gift. So you know what? I might just go about ruining the entire wedding, so here's what I'm going to do. A month ago, if anybody had told me that my own sister would try to emotionally manipulate me or even threaten to ruin my life, I would have said that they were crazy. Right now, if somebody said that, I would say it's too late because it already happened. Alright, let me elaborate. So, I live with my husband and my two amazing daughters. My life was going pretty well, with only a few minor problems arising once a month until last week. So, I work most of the day, as does my husband, and we have a pretty solid marriage, which gave me the false belief that nothing major could go wrong. I even have a very good relationship with my in-laws, and so does my husband, so you can imagine why I did not have many problems in my personal life. As I mentioned, my husband has a pretty good relationship with my parents, and we live very close to them. We even have regular get-togethers, dinners, lunches, brunches, and more, when everyone's free. But I had a feeling that some of this might change when my sister moved close to us 2 years ago. So the thing is, ever since we were children, me and my sister had a rocky relationship. We would always fight, and I would always have to give something up if she wanted it too. I didn't hate her, obviously. I would actually give things to her intentionally so that we did not fight. She would just annoy and infuriate me so much that sometimes I wished that I had a different sister or brother. But that all changed when she got married and moved away. It was maybe due to distance, but we actually got closer and had a pretty good relationship. I felt that the distance changed her as a person, and it made me like her more than ever. So it's fair to say that I was pretty sad when I learned that she was moving back close to home due to her husband's transfer. Well, I simply believed that as soon as she moved back closer to me, she would just immediately, turn back into that petty, angry, ungrateful person that she always was. I obviously did not want that, but I was quickly proven wrong. So, she actually had changed, or at least that's what she made me to believe. After she moved back, she surprised me by throwing me a surprise birthday party all by herself. She helped me around the house when I needed help. She looked after my kids when I was busy, and I did not even have to ask her to do it. She would just offer, saying that she was free and bored since she did not work and had minimal housework to do. I was kind of glad that I was wrong, but I still could not shake the feeling that something was wrong. I thought that this was all too good to be true, but I let it go, since she kept providing me to be wrong. A bit later, instead of thinking all of that nonsense, I decided to just enjoy having my sister by my side. My relationship with my sister was going great, but everything started to go downhill. 1 week ago, it was a Sunday, and me and my entire family, except for my husband, who was out with friends, had gone out for a picnic. Everything was going fine, and I was having a lot of fun, while not working or looking after my kids. After a while, my sister asked me if she could talk to me privately. I imagined she just wanted some advice or something, and I said yes. She first started by asking me to promise that I would not say this to any of our family members, and I agreed, thinking that it was a sensitive issue that she did not want anyone else to know about. Then she told me that she wanted something from me, and my head exploded internally. She said that, since her and her husband's wedding anniversary was coming up, she wanted me to buy something for them. Well, yeah, at first I was a little taken back because who asked to be gifted something? But then I thought that maybe because they were having a big party and were expecting a lot of gifts and guests, she just wanted to make sure not to get something that they would not use. I would have thought the same if I were in her shoes, So I asked her what she wanted and said I would try my best to get it because I simply did not expect it to be something so absurd. Well, guess what she wanted? You know what? Let me just tell you. A jet ski. That's right, a jet ski. I'm not joking. She seriously asked me to gift her a jet ski for her and her husband's anniversary. Do you guys understand how crazy it is to ask for such an expensive gift from your sister for your anniversary? I had no idea why she expected that I would do something like this and immediately agree to it. Or maybe she was under the impression that I won the lottery or something because I immediately said no. I mean, come on, a brand new Wave Runner, it costs over 10 grand for crying out loud. She seemed to be taken back, so I said it again, and I would not buy her a ridiculously expensive gift for her anniversary. She waited for a few seconds and asked me why I was saying no since she knew that I could afford it. This conversation was driving me crazy because there was no way that, me and my husband could afford to buy her a jet ski. So I asked her if she knew how much it cost, and she just repeated that she knew I could afford it. Let me make something clear. Me and my husband earn pretty well, but not well enough to recklessly spend on such a gift. My sister then proceeded to belittle me by saying that I was being greedy and was not even trying to give her something that she and her husband really needed. I explained to her that a jet ski can never be a necessity for somebody, but she refused and said that this would really make her happy. And I was not even trying to make her happy. As I was trying to convince her that I could not buy what she was asking without trying to break her heart, she pulled out her first card. She tried to guilt trip me into giving her what she wanted by reminding me of how many times she helped me in a pinch. She even mentioned how she looked after my children while I was out enjoying life. I had extra work or meetings and could not sit out, so I wanted to scream at her, saying that she was the one who offered to help and I could have handled it without her. But I couldn't. The thing is, no matter what, she helped me and she did it without me asking. Even if it was for this, she still helped and I could not get myself to scold her for it. I calmly explained to her that although I understood how much that she's done for me and the fact that she's never asked anything of me, there was no way I could just afford this. She then smiled and told me I could put it however much I could, and then asked my in-laws to help me with the rest of it because they're rich, and they'll definitely help. To be honest, guys, my husband's family, I'm not gonna lie, they are rich. But me and my husband decided early in our relationship that we would not use that wealth and would make life ourselves. So I explained this to her, adding that neither I nor my husband have ever used financial help from both of our respective families, and we aren't going to start now. Well, this made her mad, and she started talking about how she finally thought we had actually become sisters, only for me to act like this. She told me that I had all the money in the world but would not buy the one thing that she wanted. Even though I knew that I was right, this made me feel pretty bad. But I was also able to stand my ground. She then asked me to think about it for a day and then make my decision. So I agreed, just to get out of the conversation, and she left. That night, I told my husband everything and asked him for his take on the issue. He told me that from his point of view, it looked like my sister thinks that she genuinely deserves that gift from me. And she also thinks that buying it's not an issue for us. He said that if, I was not going to do it, then I needed to be ready to let my sister go. He thought that my sister would not take no for an answer, and this would cause a big problem between us. He also told me that if I went through with it, he would ask for his family for the money. But he also made it clear that it was not something that he wanted to do. Well, I obviously did not want him to go through with this, but I did not want to lose my sister either. It took me a few days to clearly think it out since I was very torn. Normally, I would never even consider this, but knowing how much it was going to affect my relationship with my sister, it made it a tough choice for me to make. After thinking about what I was going to do for a good 24 hours, I finally decided that all of this stress was not really worth it. I thought that my sister should not have put me in this position, knowing that I would never ask my in-laws for money. So, after struggling with it for a good amount of time, I decided that I was not doing anything wrong by refusing to buy my sister a crazy expensive gift. So, the day before yesterday, I called her, and she happily picked up, saying she was so excited to hear my answer. I have no idea why she wasn't expecting to hear a no, so I did not drag it out too much and just immediately told her that my answer remained the same. I explained that no matter how I looked at it, we just could not afford such an expensive gift, and asking my in-laws was not an option for us. She just keeps saying that this was the only thing that she had ever asked me to get, and I could not even do this one little thing for her. It sounded like she was about to cry while still being extremely mad. She asked once more if I would at least try to just talk to my in-laws, and when I said no right away, she lost it. She starts to scream at me, saying how selfish I am by refusing to spend money. I also said I was sorry that I would, be buying anything else within our budget, but she just told me to keep my money. She also went ahead to say that I did not deserve a sister like her and that I would be regretting this very, very soon. So she cursed at me multiple times and told me that she would not let this thing go so easily and would ruin my personal life for not repaying her for her kindness. Before I could argue anymore, she just cut the call and stopped responding to any calls or text. So, about 2 days have passed since this happened, and I can't help but feel guilty for what went down. I understand that she was being unreasonable, but I still feel like I could have done something else. Although I did not appreciate her screaming and cursing at me, I just think that she believed in me so much that it felt like a betrayal to her. I don't know what to do or how to handle this situation at all, but the issue might have completely ruined our relationship, and she might even never speak to me again, but I guess you can say only time will tell. The reason I wrote this here was to actually ask if this is my fault, and if I could have done something else that would have resulted in this. I feel really bad, but I also know that she's at fault for putting me in such a predicament. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. So let's go ahead and talk about this before we jump into update 1. If you guys were in OP's position and somebody tells you that you're going to ruin the relationship with them if you don't buy them a $10,000 jet ski, well, what would you do? In my opinion, I would tell them, well, you're out of your mind, first of all, because asking for something so expensive, well, heck, asking for a gift at all is pretty rude. But knowing that $10,000 is so much money and still asking for a gift from somebody of that value, yeah, something's up with that. But let's talk about it down in the comment section. I would love to hear your opinion, guys. We have so many updates to hop into, and if you think asking $10,000 for a jet ski is crazy, you've seen nothing yet. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, take a second to hit that subscribe button. It does help support the channel immensely, and only about 21% of viewers are subscribed to the channel. Let's see if we can make that 22. Guys, here is update number 1. It's only been a little more than 2 weeks since my last update, and a lot of unbelievable things have gone down. So I ended the original post by explaining how I was feeling guilty about making the choice, but now I'm completely fine and my sister does deserve the worst. Let me explain. So last week I get a call from my sister, and as soon as I picked up, I was surprised to hear that she was using an apologetic tone. She said that she was sorry for the last time and just wanted to actually apologize in person. So she asked me to swing by her house and she wanted to talk to me and sort this issue out. She said things like I was only her sister and a thing like this should not come between us, and I blindly believed her. I was so desperate to have a loving sister that I did not once recognize that she was just outright lying to me. I went to see her, happy that all this was coming to an end, but to my surprise, it was all just a trick for her to meet me and try once more to get me to buy her a gift. She also started explaining how it was not much work, and before she could go any further, I snapped. I told her that never in a million years was I going through her ridiculous demands, and that she was a terrible person and a worse sister for making me just straight up feel bad. I explained to her that there's no way she was getting the gift out of me, and it would do her good to stop trying. Well, me snapping and just talking to her with such an angry tone, it actually did the trick, and she just accepted it. Her face went red and she kept saying all sorts of things, but I really thought that, you'd say yes, and you can't do this to me. And when I told her that I was tired of hearing all this and was leaving, she just ran right for me. It was kinda scary. She just instinctively jumped at me and attacked me, or at least tried to attack me. I don't know what she was trying to do, but looking back at it, maybe she was trying to slap me? But she had both her hands up. As she jumped at me, I grabbed both of her hands and we struggled for a second before I just moved out of the way and she fell flat on her face. Shocked and kinda scared, I looked at her once, and when I visually confirmed that she was not seriously hurt, I left. I reached home and told my husband what happened, and he immediately wanted to go see my sister, but I stopped him. I told him maybe she wasn't herself or had lost control of her anger. I don't know if he believed this, but that's what I kept telling myself. So, about 2 days ago, I get a text from a cousin saying that I should not have done what I did. Well, when I asked her to explain what she's even talking about, she made me aware that my own sister was going around telling my family members that I attacked her. I don't know, it made absolutely no sense to me why she was doing this. Since then, neither she nor my parents have picked up any of my phone calls. So I've decided to visit my parents and speak to them directly. Update number 2. So, yeah, it turns out, I had a snake for a sister. Because it was unbelievable that she told everyone. I mean, I pretty much knew that it was going to be a good thing when she spread the rumor that I attacked her, but I still did not expect this. So I showed up at my parents' house and they were just outright mad. As soon as I came inside the house, they just immediately told me how disappointed they were in my behavior. They kept saying that attacking my sister was not a good decision. Well, I didn't say anything, and I just let them finish because I thought I had the best response. So, as soon as they did, I told them that I had no motive to attack her. I've never been a violent person, so why would I just attack for no reason? Then they told me what my sister had actually said. She had gone around telling my family members that I have taken a loan from her for $2,500 a year ago, and now when she asked for the money back, I refused. She also explained why nobody knew about this by saying that I had asked her to keep it a secret from the family. According to her, I had dodged her many attempts to ask for money, and she kept waiting for when I would give it back. One day, she cornered me and seriously asked me for money, and I told her that I would give her a jet ski for her anniversary that would cost a little less. So she agrees, thinking I was trying my best but later refused to even buy the gift, and when she kept trying, I came to her house to threaten her. She told everyone that I threatened to seriously hurt her if she kept asking me for money, and when she said that she would tell our family, I grabbed her and threw her to the ground. Only the last part of the entire thing was actually true. It was genuinely hilarious to me, but people actually believed it, and I tried explaining it to my parents, but they would not even hear me out. Since she had thrown them the scraps that she had from falling. After that, they asked me to leave, and since my sister was coming there to probably gain their sympathy more, I thought of staying and arguing, but then I thought it would only do me good if I was able to take, everyone and explain my side. I also knew that not everybody would be keen on showing up if it was me who asked for a meeting. So I made a plan, and we'll see how it works. I've asked one of my cousins to talk to my sister and make her feel like she could convince more family members, and could even get me kicked out of the family if she gathered everybody and shared her story in person. I wanted her to do this so that I could get a chance to talk to everybody as well, since this way that would, have to hear me out. Well, let's see if my plan actually works. Update number 3. Hello, I'm very happy to inform you that she took the bait. She's called everyone for a family meeting at my parents' house, so I called my parents and told them that I also wanted to explain my side of the story, and they all agreed. I'm pretty sure that she even has fake text screenshots, so I gathered as much proof as I can, and I'm very sure that I can convince everyone of what actually happened. But I'm very mad after what she's done. It was just making me feel guilty for not doing what she asked. I would have understood, but she's essentially trying to get me kicked out of the family. I also have another thing on her that nobody except me knows, but I don't think that I can use it. Ever since I found out what my sister was trying to do, I've been constantly thinking about telling everybody about the time I caught her with her ex-boyfriend on a date. It was more than a year ago. I took videos, and they even kissed. I was going to confront her, but a few months later I learned that her husband caught her talking, and she completely cut him off. So I just let it go. I've been trying so hard to control the urge to just prove my innocence and drop this bomb on her so that she gets what she deserves. But I don't think that I can do this to her since this would probably destroy her life. I've been debating with myself if I should tell everyone this, but now that I've given it some thought, doing it just, means I'm stooping to her level. The meeting is in 2 days, and I'll be sure to update you guys on what happens. Update number 4. Hey guys, it's been a week since the meeting, and let me tell you how it all went. So I arrived a little late, and my sister had already started accusing me by the time I got there. I stood there and waited for her to tell everyone her lies. When she saw me there, she got a little shocked and acted like she was scared of me. Of course, some of the family members fell for it and told her it was okay. And she continued. She finished her little sob story, cried a bit, and recommended I get kicked out of the family and be banned from any visiting of the functions for my behavior. Many were actually agreeing, which made me angrier, but hey, I kept my cool. Finally, I got my turn, but I did not immediately start my story when she asked me for a jet ski. I started off by telling everybody how the work that she had put in after she moved in had made our relationship rock solid, and how I was happy that I had finally had a sister again. I told everyone how she had helped me out oh so many times, and I would have done the same for her whenever or whatever I could. Then I explained how she asked me for something I simply could not afford as a gift, and when I explained it, she asked me to talk to my in-laws. So I went to explain how she asked me to meet, saying she wants to apologize and how everything else happened, so I even showed all the receipts, including screenshots of text messages. Other texts of her asking me repeatedly for the gift, and even the text that I sent my husband right after the incident happened. It was clear that my evidence outweighed her ridiculous story, and I was getting more and more family members on my side. I don't know why she thought that this would work, but when everything starts to crumble, she starts panicking. She started making up more lies, saying all this was fake and I actually attacked her. So I told everyone that my husband could also vouch for everything that happened, and this made my sister angrier. Then she said something that she should not have. She said that not only me, but also my husband had wronged her. I couldn't understand what she was getting at, because my husband had never done anything but to be kind to her. She said that during the last party, when she was a little drunk, my husband had tried to inappropriately touch her, and also suggested that she should sleep with him. I looked at her in complete shock, not being able to process what she had just said, and as soon as I could, I got so mad that I wanted to punch her. But before I could do anything, my cousin held me back. I screamed at her, saying that I could not believe that she would stoop so low just to get back at me, but she just remained silent. That was the time I realized that I had to do it, but I still wanted to give her a chance and asked her to take all of it back and apologize right now. But she said she would die on this hill, so I believed her. And before explaining anything, I apologized to her husband for what I was about to do. I told everyone how it was very clear that my sister was a big liar, but I have evidence of her doing a lot worse. She was as shocked as everybody else, and she probably just thought that I did not have anything major. But as I started talking about the specific date and place, she immediately called on and said, "Please don't do this to me." I would have stopped if she had not tried to ruin me and my husband's lives. So I continued as she begged me to stop and told everybody how she had cheated on her husband. After I explained everything, her husband looked at her and asked her if it was true. And she obviously said no, claiming I was just doing this because she accused my husband. Then I showed everybody the proof and her husband walked out and she ran after him crying. Many family members, including my parents, apologized to me for believing her, and I told them it's okay. I came back home, but I wasn't happy that I cleared my name. I don't think I should be feeling bad because my sister did deserve what I did to her, but I still do feel bad. Even after a few days have passed, I'm still sitting here wondering if what I did was right. But regretting won't do me any good, and my sister should have thought about the consequences before making accusations like that. I don't know what's happening with her, but if I do, I will provide you guys with an update. Until then, this will be my last. Update number 5. Hey guys, a month has passed since my last update, and this will probably be my last update on the situation. So after that disastrous meeting, everything in my life has returned to normal except for my sister. She has had it rough, and it makes me a little sad to see her go through all of this, but she definitely deserved it. So after all that happened, my parents and everyone else got so mad at her for lying about everything that they stopped speaking to her. There was even a discussion about kicking her out of the family, and the final decision was left up to me. I know that I should not be kind to her, seeing how she has acted towards me, but I could not do that. No matter what, she's still my sister, and I could not kick her out of the family. Not after what she's going through already. I learned from my parents that her husband had moved away and filed for divorce. And like I mentioned, nobody in the family is talking to her either. I do feel bad for her, I do. But I also know that this is something she did to herself by being too greedy. I have no clue what she's going to do, but I don't care either. I'm just happy that my life is back to normal, and I would love for it to stay this way. Lastly, I want to thank everybody who gave me advice because it helped a lot. Guys, let's just get right down to it because I do want to discuss some of the comments. Because to be honest with you, the comments were not really what I expected. Not all of them, but maybe 10 to 20% of the comments were saying that OP was actually in the wrong, and I just can't wrap my head around it. They were mentioning how she should not have exposed the affair, how she went on to ruin her sister's life, getting her divorced and whatnot, and the flip side of it is, it doesn't really matter that she wanted a jet ski. It didn't ruin your marriage like you ruined hers. Guys, I don't agree with that, and here's why. It seems like her sister was not only manipulative, narcissistic, toxic, but she was also a liar. And she was dragging OP through the mud, making her family believe all these false allegations like she borrowed money from her, which was clearly another lie. So no, I don't think it was too far for OP to expose the affair. And I think that, well, the sister's husband decided, well, he needed to know anyways, so it was rightful that he goes for the divorce after he finds out that his wife is a cheater, and he can do better. Guys, if you want to drop some comments down below, I'd love to hear from you guys. I love to read your comments. And the number one comment who gets a lot of attention and brings a lot of people chatting together, you're going to get the pinned top comment of the video. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on today's video. My name's Mr. Reddito. I narrate stories like this every single day. And if you guys are watching this right now and you did enjoy it, please do me these two favors. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And hey, if you're trying to accomplish something today, don't wait, don't procrastinate, go get it. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. And of course, remember, it's cool to be kind. Peace.